For decades, Africa and Latin America, they were treated like pawns. Resources to extract, markets to exploit, and allies to pressure. That era is over. From Mexico to Brazil, Kenya to South Africa, the Global South is making a move, breaking the script and playing its own game. So here's the question. Are we watching the rise of new power centers or just another round of false starts? Hey, if you're done with the globalist bullshit and ready for straight talk, subscribe to America's Geopolitics. Now let's break it down. Let's back up. The Global South, Africa, Latin America, and parts of Southeast Asia was never truly invited into the global economic club. After World War II, the US built the global order. Europe tagged along, Japan benefited, but most of the Global South, they got debt, structural adjustment programs, and trade terms that kept them on the margin. Cheap labor, raw materials, disposable economies, if you will. And now the very system that excluded them is collapsing. So hey, free trade is China's model is cracking, Europe is in no position to lead, and the US, Washington isn't trying to hold it all together anymore. I'm pretty sure it's breaking it apart and building Fortress America at the same time, and forcing everyone to pick sides. Into that vacuum steps the South. Mexico is already the top US trading partner. Brazil is asserting independence, cutting trade deals with both the US and China. India talks a big game, but often it hesitates. Africa, different story. Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa are no longer waiting for orders. They're building regional trade blocs and demanding leverage when negotiating. The key difference now, they're not just asking to join the old system. They're trying to build a new one, while that old one crashes into a million pieces. At first, it looked like China would replace the West, and it really did. Belt and road infrastructure loans, no questions asked money, but the fine print, it told another story. Debt traps, political strings, incomplete projects I've seen with my own eyes, and now many Global South nations are waking up. Sri Lanka, collapsed port deal. Zambia, trapped in Chinese debt. Even Kenya, once enthusiastic, is rethinking Chinese influence. So if it's not the US and not China, then who? Answer? Themselves. The new game, it isn't global, it's regional. Africa is leaning into the African Continental Free Trade Area, one of the most ambitious trade integrations in history. Latin America is forming South-South alliances, bypassing old gatekeepers. Mexico is doubling down on US access while taking Chinese investment. Argentina and Brazil are even floating a joint currency. Do these plans always succeed? Of course not. But the intent is clear. The South is tired of being told what to do and tired of playing second fiddle. Here's where it gets real. America doesn't need to save the Global South. It needs to stop underestimating it. Mexico isn't a junior partner. It's the backbone of the North American manufacturing hub. Brazil isn't a banana republic. It's a food, energy, and mineral superpower. And Africa isn't developing. It's strategically indispensable. America can lead the next era, but only by acknowledging the shift. The Global South doesn't want lectures. They want leverage. And if Washington's smart, it'll give it. Because the alternative is watching these countries drift towards China, or worse, build their own system that locks us out. The Global South has been underestimated for far too long. They're not rising because the West gave permission. They're rising because the old order is fucking falling apart. And in that chaos, they see something the old powers don't. Opportunity. This isn't about charity or dependency. It's about power, leverage, and who gets to write the new rules. And like it or not, the South is picking up the pen. Hey, this is Frank. If you like what you heard, subscribe to America's Geopolitics. See you next time.